there has to be hundreds, if not thousands of recipes for wheaten bread. And everyone thinks theirs is the best. I'm only joking, yeah, everyone is a little bit different. This recipe was kindly given to me from Olivia Rafferty. She's our sous chef in Maclean House. So this is her mother's recipe. There's some yogurt in it. And the recipe she made, she put hazelnut yogurt into it. We're just using some natural yogurt. So I'll go through, it's a very, very simple recipe, and I'm actually going to give you the quantities. We'll post it also too. So in the bowl, it's really, really simple. I have self-raising flour, 8 ounces, and 8 ounces of wholemeal flour. So I've just literally just sieved it, just to lighten it. And then what we're going to put in is a teaspoonful of baking powder and bicarbonate of soda. So that's the raisin agents. You have 3 raisin agents: the self-raising flour, the bicarbonate of soda, and then the baking powder. And then we have salt. So we'll just literally sieve that in, using the sieve, and then the salt goes in too. So the salt is important because it's going to season it. So we just literally just knock that, just give it a nice little shake, and then we're going to combine this all together. Now, I like a sweet brown bread. I have a very sweet tooth. So we're going to put in some brown sugar, and this is just 1 spoonful of light brown sugar. You could replace it with some honey, or you can leave it out, whatever you want to. So we're just going to put in the brown sugar. And this recipe again is a little bit different because there's no buttermilk, there's plain milk into it. So just full fat milk. So we have 8 ounces of full fat milk, okay? So that's roughly on this here about 200 millilitres, just over a quarter of a pint, because you want a lovely soft, wet brown bread. So that's full fat milk, and then 250 grams of this beautiful yogurt. So this is from Killowen Farm, there's no sugar in it. It's a really, really beautiful natural yogurt, part of the Simply Better collection. And it's gorgeous. If you want, you can mix a little bit of vanilla into it. Lovely for breakfast with granola and that. So the first thing we need to do is crack in 1 egg. So I'm using just one of the corn-fed Simply Better eggs. We're just going to mix this all together. And then we're going to put our yogurt in here. So this is a recipe that we've made many times, and our students in the cookery school in Maclean. It's light, it's delicious, you can make it ahead, and actually a really good tip for you. See all the dry ingredients in the bowl? You can double up this recipe, get one of these kind of Ziploc bags, and then just literally have all your dry ingredients weighed out. So all you have to do is put in your milk, your egg, your yogurt, and away you go. So that's the beautiful thing about baking. You have to measure things out, so why not double it up when you're doing that? So this will make a 2-pound loaf tin, which I'm going to talk to you about in a moment. I'm just putting this beautiful yogurt. So I had the pleasure of going down to Wexford, to Pauline and the family down there in Killowen Farm, and they're just wonderful. They're just great producers. They make great yogurt, and really, really very, very special people. So just mix this all together. So I'd never seen a recipe without buttermilk. So this is a very, very beautiful and delicious recipe. So again, thanks to Olivia and her mum. Now we're going to mix this all together. So that's going to go in there. So just to recap, we have self-raising flour, we have wholemeal flour, and we have 1 egg in that, some brown sugar. We have bicarbonate of soda. We also have some salt, and then we have baking powder. So what you want is a lovely kind of wet consistency. So give it a really nice mix. So combine it all together. So what you want to do is mix through the brown sugar and all the flours. So I'm using my spatula. No need even to dirty an electric mixer. You can just do this by hand. It's one of these lovely things that you can get your children to do. Now, nearly there. Just go right down to the bottom, and I just want to show you the consistency. And you'll notice as soon as you make this, it begins to rise, because you remember the 3 raisin agents. So you're looking for that lovely loose drop in consistency. I'll just show you one more time. So it's a really simple but beautiful brown bread. So you could do a few things. If you wanted to, you could butter these and put that into your little muffin tin. They'll take about maybe 20 minutes to cook. But what I'm going to do is just into my 2-pound loaf tin. So this is part of my cookware collection. We also have the mini 1/2 pound loaf tins that you can do, and they'll cook in half the time. So I'm just brushing it here just with some melted butter. So go right to the edges, if you can see that, and then just using the pastry brush. Then what I like to do is put it onto a tray. The oven is a fan oven, and it's preheated, at 190. So this has to go in for 30 minutes at 190, and then after that you reduce the temperature to 180 for another 30 minutes. So we're just going to scoop this in. You can put lots of different nuts and seeds in that, but I'm just keeping it very simple. Scrape all this down. We don't want any waste. And then we're just going to literally put this in here. So just using the spatula, if you just go right to the edge. And as I said, you can make this into the small loaf tins, which are really cute. And they're part of my cookware collection too. So the bacon is hard to beat. One of the first things that I would have done as a child is made apple tart, flapjacks, shortbread, that kind of thing with my mum. Made a mess in the kitchen. I'm still doing that. For a little bit of texture, we're going to use some of the most beautiful oats, Flavance oats. So they're a wonderful company based in County Waterford, and we use their oats for our porridge. So this gives lovely texture to the bread. That goes in. So why do we put it onto a tray? It just makes it easier to lift it in and out of the oven. Obviously, if you're going to do it in a smaller loaf tin, it's going to cook faster. So that will take it an hour. So remember, 190 fan oven, that's going to take 30 minutes, and then reduce the temperature to 180 for another half an hour. That's going to go in there. Then when it comes out, you let it kind of sit in the tin for a few minutes. And this is it here. We just baked this just this afternoon. So it's still nice and warm without being too hot. I'm just going to cut into it. I'm just going to get my plate. So how do you know when your wheaten bread is done? You lift it up, and if you can hear that, I'll just bring it near the microphone. So you're looking for that lovely hollow sound so that it's cooked through. Because it is a big loaf tin and every oven is different, so it could take maybe an hour and 10 minutes, but it shouldn't take any more than that. So we're just going to slice this. And then just another nice big slice of this. Look at this. Just be careful. Lovely. And then all we do is just butter that. Lots of lovely butter onto that there. And you have that nice texture there. You have that lovely oats on top. And if you look closely, just at the texture, it's a lovely light brown bread. So enjoy this recipe. I think it's a lovely quick recipe. You can freeze it. It'll keep for about 2 or 3 days. Lovely toasted, lots of lovely Irish butter. And again, thank you to Livia and her mum for this beautiful recipe. The yogurt is the key to this, and some lovely good fresh flour. Enjoy.